On today's episode of Watch Jericho, we are here to talk about what's hopefully the last time we ever see this insanity and one truck sale that was just absolutely wrong in every way. What is going on, guys? I am Watch Jericho, and today I'm out here braving the cold with this 2001 Silverado, a GMT 800 Silverado. Bad wheel bearing on that Silverado right there. And we're here to talk about one that just sold, an absolute nightmare of a sale. One of these trucks that just sold for over $40,000 at the Mecum auction. Now, before I go any farther, I do want to say buy whatever you want and spend your money on whatever you want. There's no problem with that. And somebody obviously spent their money on this truck. But we're here to talk about why on earth that truck sold for that crazy money and why you should never pay that kind of crazy money for one of these trucks. So this is my old 01 that I bought for roughly $3,000, $3,500, something like that. I traded one of my 4th Gen Z28 Camaros for it, and I feel like that was right on the money for these trucks, and I bought many of them for that kind of price before. In fact, you guys have actually seen me buy the next generation GMT 900s for less money than that. So that is roughly the market on these trucks. This one does have, you know, close to 250,000 miles on it, and the one that sold had 29,000 miles on it, but 29,000 miles wouldn't have justified this price no matter what. So let's talk about the truck that sold real quick. 2002 Silverado Z71 package, I'll give it that, with nice alloy wheels on it, but basically nothing else. Exactly the same as this truck. Cloth interior, no fancy navigation, no leather. I mean, I don't think those things existed until 03 or something like that, but it didn't have any special options. It was just a regular cab short bed, nothing crazy at all, and not even that low mileage. If it was delivery miles, a lot of this would make sense, but it wasn't delivery miles. It was a truck that had been driven. So a nice truck. One of these, I know people love them, I know they have a soft spot for them, but the reason people love them and they have a soft spot is because they're cheap and they last forever. It all comes down to the value proposition of the truck. So if you go pay $40,000 for one of these, what are you getting? Nothing. Because what was one of those new? If you bought one of these trucks new in 2002, you would have paid about $25,000, and you would have gotten a spec pretty much like this. Now, that would be a regular cab, not the extended cab, and the Z71 package obviously adds, what, back then about $2,500, base price $21,000, so $23,000 all in on a brand new one. Now, if you took one of those trucks and you parked it in the garage and you wrapped it up in plastic and you pulled it back out this year in 2023, I would say that's absolutely worth $40,000, maybe even more. It'll probably never get another mile put on it, and it'll just be a beautiful, you know, museum piece for the rest of its life. That's not what the truck that sold was. It was a driver. Of course, they didn't drive it too much, about 1,500 miles a year, but it's still a driver. It's not perfect. So my take is that truck's worth about $15,000. A normal driver with some miles on it, and maybe a little bit cleaner than that, 100,000 mile range, those sell for, you know, $10,000, something like that. And if you want to buy one with some miles on it, which is no problem because these trucks are amazingly bulletproof, you can buy them for $3,000 all day long. Now, why do people love the GMT 800 so much? Well, they say that it was the last real truck ever produced, which is obviously absolute nonsense. That's the most boomer speak I've ever heard in my life. A truck's a truck, and if it will do what you need it to do, it's the truck that you need, honestly. And the new ones are the same price as your $40,000 2002, and will do everything better, so much better. In fact, I just jumped on Chevrolet's website and made a truck that matches the spec of this one or the one that just sold at Mecum, and it came out to, I think, $42,000 exactly, with a bunch of options added, convenience packages, exterior lighting packages, all kinds of good stuff, including 4-wheel drive and a bunch of new options that you would expect in any modern car, like Bluetooth, aux-in, USB charging. It's so much more truck for your money. Anyway, back to the reason people say the GMT 800 is the last real truck ever produced. It's because it was very simple. It just goes right back to the K1500 days with a real engine, the best engine ever made, the pre-DOD, pre-AFM LS engine. Everything on it is very simple, easy to work on. I will give it that. It's all easy to work on, but none of that has changed in the new trucks. I gotta put that in the footnotes there. Just as easy to work on, honestly. The new truck comes with a warranty, so you don't need to work on anything. But this one has a 4.8 a simple transmission, a 4L60 behind that, the easiest transmission to work on. It's a well-known entity, and I mean, the rest of it's just a frame, super simple drivetrain. And on that one that just sold, you get 4-wheel drive thrown in the package as well. Now, all of that stuff is super cheap to fix, even though none of these prices have really changed. They've only changed in people's minds. A couple more notes about my old stepside. That truck, of course, I got it, like I said, for about $3,500. The only things it has ever needed are a radiator and a water pump. And both times that those blew, the radiator and the water pump, it still drove home. Just start it up, drive until it starts to get hot, shut it back off, and then repeat the cycle until you make it all the way home. And that truck has had no problem doing that. It's gotten kind of hot, honestly, and it still runs like it's brand new. So the 4.8 is even more bulletproof than the 5.3. We all know that the 4.8 also makes the 4L60 last even longer. It can last, well, I don't think that truck's ever had a transmission put in it. And if it had a 5.3, it would have got a new transmission about every 100,000 miles. I do prefer driving the 5.3. It's a little bit more peppy, but the 4.8 is a little bit more gutless, and it makes sure that that cheap, easy transmission never breaks. And since we're talking about value, the 4.8 is probably the move, because each owner has had to do nothing but change the oil and put tires on it. You know, you might incur a couple $100 expenses along the way. A radiator, cheap. Water pump, super cheap, super easy. Everything on that thing is just easy to do, and it costs you nothing to own. So that is the true value proposition of a GMT 800. And that is one of the reasons why it could be one of the best trucks in the world. I'd still much rather be in a 900 though. We'll take a quick look around this truck. Obviously it came with the stock wheels. Eric threw these XDs on it because they came with new tires, which was definitely a win. It does have everyone's favorite headlights and front end, which is one of the reasons people do like this truck. It has a very classic style on the front end. It doesn't have the overblown grille, or it's not angry, and it's not, you know, the cat eye was a little angrier. So this was a, like I said, simple truck that calls back to the old truck days. But there is no benefit to buying one of these over a brand new one, except for the value proposition. So if you're paying $40,000 for one, you suddenly have no value proposition, which is why I made this entire video. And you get a broken dash on even if you pay $40,000 for one of these. Anyway, if you're gonna buy yourself a GMT 800, I will never discount that. I think it's a great truck. I've definitely said many times that this and the 900 are the greatest trucks in the world. I'd say there's no difference, except the 900 is way more truck for your money, so maybe buy that. I would highly recommend that over an 800. But that said, just don't pay $40,000 for one of them, and I think we're coming to the end of that market anyway. So, oh man, all your radio presets have been deleted.
She's trying to shift. She's got to shift it.
We're gonna have to dive
in. It's old
in.
enough, it might just...
It might go.
It might just go into gear.
We just had the parking brake. I saw this sale, it blew my mind. I can't believe anyone would pay for that when there's so many better options out there. And people were in the comments defending it, saying that it's the greatest truck ever made and nostalgia was worth it, but it's really not. The nostalgia's worth about $20,000, maybe $15,000. And sure, you know, it's worth whatever somebody's willing to pay, but please stop paying that. That's all I can say. Anyway, that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Spend your money wisely, get that value out of this thing. You can own this truck for nothing if you buy it right. Don't forget to head on over to shop.watchjericho.com for cool shirts just like this, and please like, share, subscribe, do whatever you want to do, and I will talk to you next time.
Just the only thing is that you better hope she doesn't lock us out.
Oh yeah.
So roll the passenger window down a little more. Ha! Aha!
My 67 Camaro is packed in here in the storage, and oh, we can't fill it? Oh no, I forgot it has a rear fill.
How close is it to...
We got
probably touching it.
We got enough room to get it. We got 6 inches. Anyway, they tried to start this up and said it won't run, and I think it's just out of gas. So I brought 5-gallon gas can over here with some fuel in it. The pump just loaded up, but only barely. Hold on.
Yeah, push.
I gotta give you some room. You got a bunch of room now. Does the Holly turn on? You got screen? There's no accelerator pump on a EFI. Wiggle the key. There. Yeah. Okay, the Holly fires right up.
This one has no problems.
It sounds like it's got fuel now. Definitely loaded up the pump. just out of gas. That's definitely what it was. Well, the Model T is not warming up anytime soon, but we got the 65 started up, warming up a little bit. We got some garage sale stuff tossed in the back. The 67's over here running. You gotta start the fleet up during the winter, let everything run for a little while, get the batteries charged, open up one of the doors here for a bit, and that wraps up our time back over here.